So I just thought I'd explain a wee bit about why we're building these small ponds. I haven't talked that much about money, but basically we're self-funded on this project, and these big ponds cost quite a lot of money, so most of the budget's gone on that, and we've got some other things going, like coming up, like a cold room, a hatchery was always a plan, and black soldier fly, which all have their own financial requirements. We've got a budget for that. And when we realised that we were going to have to build these small ponds because we can't get brood stock, it was a bit, we've got some additional costs. I was like, can we do this? But actually I think it's incredibly important for us to achieve the aims of RAD would be to actually help smallholders with fingerlings, because as you know, it took us 8 hours, 400 kilometres to get to Kampala. And for most farmers, no chance they can do that. They don't have a vehicle, they can't afford to pay someone to do it because it's too expensive because of fuel. They can't afford to go on the public transport because you have to go and stay somewhere in Kampala, you have to go to the site, pick up the fish. They don't have the technical know-how to do that. And so what happens actually is a lot of farmers rely on the government to provide fingerlings, but unfortunately the government doesn't always have the resources or the capacity to actually deliver these little fingerlings to them. So they build a pond, 5 months later it's still vacant, or they harvest and then they still can't restock the fingerlings. So here in Rukungiri it's very important we have little fingerlings for farmers. You know, they're looking for 1,000 fish, 500 fish. It's often small cooperatives, women groups or young people. They'll come together, 10 of them, build a pond, and then they just don't have the capacity to stock it. So really keen to do this, and actually these ponds are smallish, 8 metres by 20 metres, because you only need, we can have about 600 adult male fish in there, or 600, and then 600 adult female fish in the other one. And actually I think that works, that gives us enough males and females for what we need. And then we put the males and the females into the breeding pond. The females make a nest in the mud. The males come and spawn, lay their semen on top, and that fertilises the eggs. The females are mouth breeders, things about tilapia, so they collect all the eggs, keep them in the mouth. Then they hatch, and then they come out of the female for a time. So you can actually see sometimes that the hatchlings, they're called, when they've just hatched, top of the water, and at that point you collect them, transfer them to the tanks where we're going to put them, concrete tanks, feed them up till they're about 1 gram in size, and then we can sell them to the local people around. And in some cases I think we'll probably donate some, to be honest, because it's something, it's why I'm here really, is to help people. It's not just about, it's profit for a purpose. So yeah, so I'm quite excited to be building these. Definitely worth the extra expense. I should say that we had plans for a different type of hatchery, but just technical problems wouldn't allow us to do that, so we're having to make a simpler version, but that involves building these ponds at added cost. So yeah, you can see the male pond behind me is pretty much done. Female pond is being dug, and then just above them, where we haven't started, we'll build the breeding ground. So yeah, pretty happy with the progress so far.